Hello there everyone, Lumi here, and I am kinda good at building things. Today, I kind of goodly built this branch, beehive, and the queen dragon bee that is guarding her hive. This build happens to be my application build for a building team. The team is called Keystone Builds, and the link to their website is in the description. I applied specifically to build naturals and sculptures, as my main gimmick for the past year has been to build organics. Other than putting together a portfolio, I was also asked to prove myself with a trial build, and this is what I came up with. That said, let us get into the time-lapse. This build can be split in three main sections. The first part is the branch, the second part is the hive, and the third part is the bee dragon. For the branch, I started out by sketching a rough shape using the line tool in order to draw some straight lines, that I would later transform into one main branch and several smaller side branches. After the lines have been drawn, I go in by hand to smooth the entire structure out, and to add several smaller branches that would have been too bulky to draw using the line tool. After the shape is done, I move on to painting the bark of the branch. I base the color scheme on the rainbow eucalyptus. If you've never seen the rainbow eucalyptus before, or if you have never done acid in your college dorm room, I highly recommend looking them up. They almost seem surreal in how vibrantly they are colored. The eventual final colors of the bark do not even get close to the abstract colors of an actual rainbow eucalyptus. But the branch is still much more vibrantly colored than most trees made in Minecraft. When it comes to adding the leaves, I made all of them by hand. Having placed down leaves with well-edit commands in the past, I know that to get the best results, I do need to get in and do them by hand. However, it also, at times like these, makes me reevaluate my sanity, at least even more than usual. After the leaves are put in place, I move on to the plants living on top of the branch. These include a variety of vines, hanging flowers, moss, and epiphytic plants. When it comes to making the hive, I had a little trouble finding reference images. Truth is, beehives don't really look anything like the classic drawn images that are so recognizable to us. Most bee species simply create their hives within bark, under roof overhangs, or even in underground tunnels. And since those hives lack sex appeal, I leaned heavily into a very cartoony and colourful depiction of a beehive. I started with a sphere and roughed it up on all sides with the lift and melt brushes from Voxel Sniper. I applied darker blocks in the dents and lighter blocks in the raised areas to create recess shading. I start with two colors, one for my dark tone and one for my light tone. Afterwards, I use brushes with masks supplied to create a gradient within those two tones, until I have a convincing gradient between the dark areas and the light areas. Naturally, I also needed some thick, viscous honey dripping out of the hive hole. I used shroom lights as one of the blocks for the interior, which gives the honey a very warm glow when looking at the bill at nighttime. So, bee dragon. Yeah, that sounds right. Bee dragon. I start with some very basic geometric shapes and knead them until they make up their specific segments of the body. The shaping was not too complicated, though as usual it did require a final layer of smoothing by hand. The coloring of those trademark bee stripes I did in a very similar way to the painting of the hive. I have two tones, one dark tone and one light tone, and I use masks to paint within those tones until a gradient is established. The building and detailing was pretty straightforward. I used the curve command to create the neck, and I used loft to fill in the wings before smoothing everything out by hand. Anyways, bee dragon. Hey there, hope you enjoyed the time-lapse. If you didn't, fight me. I added a few more little details here and there after the time-lapse had finished, most notably the butterfly up on the branch, as well as a couple of bees set on the outside of the hive. In the end, the build took around 8 to 10 hours to fully complete. Now, this is quickly becoming a main feature of my videos. It is time to check the plot out at night to reveal the lights hidden all over. I made sure to hide some lighting blocks on the main body of the bee and on the back of the branch to serve as some magical lights. The previously mentioned warm lighting emanating from the hive also does an impeccable job at making me hungry. Anyways, there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed a closer look at the bee dragon. I have already received confirmation that my application as builder for Keystone has been accepted, so I will be sure to celebrate that this evening with very responsible consumption of alcoholic beverages. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you will. If you liked me, DM me on Discord, uwu. Subscribe if you want to keep up with the next projects. And I wish you a pleasant rest of your day. Bye bye!